Tonight is his biggest night of his life. Help me. I love him, have loved him, and do I really want to do this? Yes. Sometimes we need to be vengeful. Jailed, rubbish, garbage. This is no. Do not hurt us. There's another update. I, 25 female, discovered that my boyfriend of 3 years is cheating. Tonight is his biggest night of his life. Help me. I will not go into all the gory details of our relationship. We were in love and well, I still love him, but I found out clearly that he does not. I discovered proof that he has been cheating on me for a while in the form of small home videos of them. I don't know the girl, and from the looks of their relationship, yup, I went ahead and post-discovery snooped. She has no idea that I exist. Tonight is the biggest night of my boyfriend's life. He's receiving a state award at a big dinner with a few hundred people attending. From his mom, his dad, to councilmen and all of that. In fact, the only reason that I discovered this transgression is because I have been putting together a little video for him to enjoy of some of the key moments of his life. Typical sappy shit. I am burdened with a lot of power right now, and I don't know if I have it in me to do the right thing. Then don't. Or if I even know the right thing. Yes, you do. I'm blinded with tears of rage and sadness and betrayal, but at the same time, I love him, have loved him, and do I really want to do this? Yes. The relationship is over, no doubt about it. I'm not a woman who will take her man cheating on her. Certainly not. And that is not the issue. The issue is there are cutesy selfies of the two of them, a lot of them, only shared between the two of them, nothing LEWD. There's plenty of that on camera though. Do I sneak one in the snap reels as a way of letting him know that I know? Or do I simply confront him after his moment in the sun passes? I'm not going to pick up everything and leave without cutting contact. That's not my style. And it wouldn't make me feel good. Just very sad. So, do I do the bitchy thing for once in my life? To anyone looking at the snap reel, it would just look like a picture of him and a friend. But to him and to me, it would be a private message, an outing. Help me, Reddit. I don't know what to do this time. TLDR found out that my boyfriend was cheating on me and have the power to let him know via slipping a photo of the two of them into a snap reel showing tonight. Should I do it or gracefully exit his life? No. I think you should totally do it. Just do it. Plus, it's like in between the two of you, nobody's gonna know. But if they ever know in the future, they're gonna be like, oh, I saw a photo of her. You know what I mean? Let's look at some of the comments, okay? Nah, you know what? If there is really nothing that anyone would pick up on other than the two of you, you slip that photo into the slideshow, make eye contact with him when the photo appears on screen, then when it's over, you stand up and walk out. It ain't the high road, but nobody needs to walk the high road all the time. Exactly. The high road was not meant for me. OOP replies, I chuckle. I think the only reason that I would do this is to make eye contact with him so that he knows that I know, but I'm not sure I have the guts to do that. I'm not exactly Olivia Pope. Oh my god, I missed that series so much. Now, 6 weeks later, there's an update. Original TLDR found out that boyfriend was cheating on me, have the power to let him know. Should I do it or just exit his life? Well, it's been a month and a half since this all went down. I've gotten so many requests for an update, and I have never intended to actually give one, honestly, because I was afraid of the fallout depending on what I ended up doing. So what did I do? I did the immature, vengeful thing, and I don't regret it. I love that you did that. Sometimes we need to be vengeful. I took a few photos of the two of them, tasteful photos that gave off no indication other than she might be a childhood friend. I slipped them into the snap reel and I spoke kindly of him at the podium. Then after my turn was finished, I walked out. I drove home feeling calm and in control. 20 minutes later, the texts started. Where did I go? What did I know? Where did I find the photos? Was there more in store for him? I texted him, I know you have been, but there are no more photos. There weren't any, and of course, I left it at that. He did not come home that night or the next. The next day, he called me to ask if we could meet up and talk at a public location. Okay, I agreed to meet him at Starbucks. I arrived early, waited for him. He showed up a few minutes late. You are late for this? And he took the seat across from me. He started right off with excuses, how it just happened, and he regrets it fully. She doesn't mean anything to him, and that she looked like a girl that he had a crush on in high school, and he was powerless against his teenage self. I didn't interrupt him, just let him have his time when he was done. And looking at me for a sign of what might happen next, all I could say was, so, where did you stay the past few nights? Her house. And what did you do? He could not answer. He would not answer. There had not been any doubt in my mind, really. I knew I was leaving him. He talked over himself, apologizing, begging for forgiveness, saying that he had changed. But you slept in her house. How much have you changed? That's quite fascinating. I told him that I didn't want him to have to change himself, that if who he was naturally was someone who cheated on his girlfriend, then that is not someone that I wanted to be with. He said that he was thinking of proposing to me, like that's supposed to make things better. And all I could say after that was, well, good thing I found out before. I like this girl a lot. You got integrity, you respect yourself, you know what you want, like you have your feelings, you acknowledge them, but at the same time you are smart with your feelings. I love that about you. Okay, fast forward to a few weeks later, he moved out and I'm doing well. We have cut off contact. People ask me about him all the time and I just let them know, yeah, he left me for a girl who looked like his high school crush. So that's the end. We are broken up. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. I don't feel any regret for how I handled it, and you should never. Like one commenter said, there's no need to take the high road all the time. TLDR, I added photos to the snap reel. He saw them. We broke up and are never getting back together. I don't regret my choice. Only that I wasted 3 years with an overgrown child. Now let's look at more comments, okay? Just, is he for real? Like your girlfriend found out that you cheated on her, and when she asked you, where did you spend the night? Your immediate reply was, what, mistress? Pretty sure a cockroach is controlling his brain. You know what? You should appreciate that he was honest with you, at least about that part. But good for you, girl. You don't deserve to be in that situation. So messy and I'm judging. And so I replied, yeah, that one jumped out at me too. I know that's often where cheaters end up when they are exposed, but you have got to realize that it means it's over, right? You don't realize that the gig is up. Go sleep with AP, affair partner. Okay, AP is a fair partner for a couple of nights, then come back to patch things up. That's just not going to work. Someone replied again, that annoys me endlessly. If you want to show that you are sorry and want forgiveness, do not immediately move in with the person that you were cheating with. It's the laziest form of hedging your bets. I feel like this is such a good way of putting everything into a sentence. I could have never used hedging your bets as to describe this situation, but that is exactly what is happening. If he loses you, then he'll just move in with her and then the cycle might just repeat itself. But let's go back to the comments. They are not done. Because of course, I assume OOP refused to take him back. He just carried on where he left off with the affair partner. If he was really sorry, he would have been single. Well, you could have been single and stay at the hotel somewhere and cut off contact with affair partner. But that's not what happened. But I gotta say, I really, really like OP. I feel like OP is so smart. I don't think I would have thought like that. I don't think that I was emotionally very smart at 25. You know what I mean? Well, that makes me sound very old, but Next, thinking of proposing as if that makes the whole cheating thing cool and good. What an asshat. And someone quoted she doesn't mean anything to him and that she looked like a girl that he had a crush on in high school and he was powerless against his teenage self. Someone replied to this quote saying that is just one of the most pathetic things I've ever heard. Lol, this boy is a loser. She should have made him call the other woman in front of her and say everything. Quote, if you are serious about making this work, I need you to call her and tell her everything that you just told me and then dip. Is everyone like way smarter than me in here? Like, what is happening? I feel like I would come up with this like in my shower. Next, my girlfriend, 32 female, has been very sad since she found out that her ex-boyfriend is getting married. So I, 30 male, have been dating my girlfriend for about 4 months. Everything was great for us until she learned that her ex-boyfriend of 9 years was getting married. They had broken up in June last year and we started dating in July this year. We have tons in common and we really enjoy each other's company anyway. Last week, one of her old friends who knew her ex informed my girlfriend that he was getting married to his new girlfriend. My girlfriend was shocked, to say the least, and when her friend left, she went on Facebook and spent almost an hour looking through his profile. Okay, he was a long-time boyfriend, so she must have been curious, but ever since that day, she has been really sad and stressed. And she keeps spending her time on Facebook looking through everything about her ex and his bride-to-be. When I finally asked if he was the one who got away from her, she denied it. She said something along the lines of, I want to see what's so special about her. She says that she's not pinning for him, he didn't treat her well, and that even if he asked her, she would not go back. In fact, he had reached out to her multiple times after breaking up, but she turned him down every single time. So Reddit, my question is, if you don't love him, then why be so sad about his marriage? Why keep obsessing over his bride-to-be? I don't think that your girlfriend still love him, but it's just maybe, I mean, you spend 9 years with someone, you sort of expect to spend the rest of your life with that person. Maybe they did talk about the future, but he did not really nudge towards marriage or anything like that. Maybe she's like, then like, why did he choose her when I spent 9 years with him? So I don't think that you are missing anything. Maybe she could have been more open with the conversation, but this is probably her first time handling a situation like this. And yeah, let's look at the comments. Let me know what you think, by the way. He strung her along for 9 years and is marrying the girl that he only recently met. That is probably where her sadness is coming from. Why wasn't she good enough to garner a commitment like marriage? What does this girl have that she does not? Not logical, but that is probably what is running through her mind. Someone replies saying, yes, especially if it's a guy who tore down her self-esteem. It was a huge part of her life for 9 years, so it's understandable that she's grieving. Not that her ex so efficiently moved on. 9 years with someone means you likely expected to spend the rest of your life together. It doesn't mean that she wants him back, but 1 year after a whole decade of your life, along with all the hopes and emotional investment that it took, what she's going through is understandable. And OOP replies, you might be right. I don't know the intricate details of their breakup, but she did say that they broke up because they could not agree on the future, and that she has mentioned to me that she does want to be married and have kids. Putting these 2 points together, the situation might have been closer to what you describe. And to be honest, her ex did sound like a tool. He made 5 times her salary, but they always went 50-50 on all expenses. Now, this is an interesting conversation. What do you think about this? In my opinion, it should be proportionate to the pay. Okay, if he makes more, then I feel like, you know, you choose to be with someone, you want to take care of that person, and that it should come naturally. You get what I mean? Am I losing my point here? Let's go back to the comments. You let me know what you think of this, okay? On our first date, I took her out to a fancy restaurant, which I also wanted to visit for a really long time. We had a gala time, but the next day she called me and apologized and then told me that she would only be able to pay her half of the meal in installments as she didn't have that much cash at the moment. It took me a moment to understand she was talking about the dinner last night. I told her that I invited her, so it was my treat. Then she told me that her ex-boyfriend made her transfer her share after every outing they had. All throughout their relationship, it was weird to be honest, but I didn't probe much further as it was just after our first date. Now, if you know that you can afford the dinner and you invite your partner to have dinner with you at that fancy gala place, I'm talking about the ex, not the current boyfriend, then if you invite that person, you should be prepared to foot the bill. You get what I'm saying? Unless, y'all agreeing to split the bill 50-50, knowing that both of you could afford the same thing. Actually, do you really want to be with this guy? 9 years sounds exhausting. And there's an update. So I got a lot of advice on my last post. Thank you. All in all, making this post did really help me a lot in deciding on how to approach this with my girlfriend. So anyways, now let's get on with the actual update. After reading the comments and doing some thinking, I decided the best course of action is to talk to her. So I went to her favorite restaurant, got her favorite dish packed, and then went to her apartment. Oh, that's so cute. When she came out, I told her that, look, I can't say I understand what you're going through, because I don't. It's something personal to you, and as much as I would like to help you out or share some of that grief, I respect your choice and decisions. But as your boyfriend, I do have some rights here, and I am invoking that right and asking you to not be hungry and sad. If you want to be sad, then please be sad on a full stomach filled with your favorite food. That's all I ask. Hearing this, she became emotional. Then she said, I have not been the best girlfriend in the world for the past week, and I apologize for that. It's just that it's been hard for me to see someone with whom I spent 9 years of my life with who gave me a lot of excuses, and now he's just disregarding his own statements. Can you imagine anyone in a 9-year-old relationship where the couple don't live with each other or don't go on holidays together? They have absolutely no talk of getting engaged or married. Hell, he even got upset if I sent him a text while he was working. Well, me and my ex were like that. On top of that, he always used to say that marriage as an institution is archaic and he will not participate in it. Also, he looked down upon age gap relationships too. Now he's marrying someone 8 years younger than him. Oh my God. And he's already living with her and has gone on holidays together too. That's why I've been feeling down. I don't want him back. I've already upgraded to a much higher level. She meant me, but it's just the feelings of wasting 9 years of my life, which is the most painful. I love that you gave her really good food, and the way to a woman's heart, it's through her stomach. And I also really love that she opened up to you, and that must be very painful. I think the self-esteem part was definitely valid here. Like, he destroyed her. Maybe he didn't see points, like he did not see her opinion as something that he should consider. Then after she's gone and he's like, oh, maybe I should do all these things because people do want it. Maybe the new girl did talk about these things with him and he just, I don't know, man. Let's go back, okay, to the update. So I gave her a hug and told her that if she wanted a shoulder to cry on or a mouth to talk shit about her ex, I can do both. So we both share a laugh. Then when I was leaving, she asked if she can stay with me for a few days as she does not want to be alone. I said sure. So she came with me, and right now she's setting up her workstation in my other bedroom while I'm making this update. She will be staying with me the whole week. So thank you again, people. You have been immense help. Okay, now let's go to the comments. There's a scene in When Harry Met Sally that at 9, it kind of didn't make sense. Then rewatching it when it randomly came on TV at 35, just a few days after a long-term boyfriend who broke up with me because he didn't want to get married, got engaged to someone he had only been dating for a few months. It made sense. It's not that I wanted him back, but why? After all that time together, did he not want to marry me? What was it about me that made him say that he didn't want to get married at all, when he just didn't want to marry me? Why did I waste all that time on that relationship? 10 years later, I'm married to my husband and he's my one. I would not have anyone else. But sometimes reading stories like this or watching scenes like that in the movie, it's in the back of your mind. Why was I not good enough? Therapy helps a lot. I love this comment. Healthy communication, tick behaving like an adult, tick Redditors giving sensible advice, tick for once. I felt like I was somewhere else. I'm happy that everyone involved behaved like adults and acted sensibly. I hope the rest of their future relationship goes as well as this update. Me too, me too. She's grieving the waste of her time on such a waste of a person. She's grieving that she didn't know sooner to expect better for herself. She's grieving the damage to her self-esteem that she let build year after year. She's grieving the loss of the parts of herself that she gave up for so long, especially when it's sparkly shown how worthless it was to have given anything. She's not grieving for him, she's grieving for herself. And the beautiful part is that her new boyfriend is a person who is worth her time and will help her build herself up. Yes. I'm so happy for you that like you are out of that situation. I think I said this in the first Reddit video, but you know, that's always the case. We gotta move on with our life, and you got a nice guy with you, and I hope all the best for you and your partner for all the future everything. Next, my female 26 husband, male 29, is obsessed with my boss, female 38, and it's all my fault. Let me just say this. I read this. I'm not done, but I saw the update and I was like, oh my God. Okay, stay with me. I started this job about 1.5 years ago. I can't say what it is because I want us to say anonymous and our country is very small. So my boss would probably be recognized. Are you in Singapore? Where are you from? The moment I started, I felt like I was in the right place. My boss, the owner of the company, is very cool and kind. She's self-made and she loves her job. She does a lot of the dirty work herself that bosses who has 30 to 35 employees would not have to do, but she just loves it. On top of that, we have 6-hour workday. Our salaries are 20% higher than the market, and we have 7 paid vacation weeks a year. Her reasons? She appreciates us and she's getting richer. Anyway, I was so proud of working with a woman like her, so I would not shut up talking about her to my husband, especially in the beginning. My husband was as fascinated by her as I am until he met her in a company dinner party last Christmas. She must have been beautiful when she was young. She could have been a model. I think his fascination became a crush or an obsession, or maybe worse, love. Now he follows her on social media, her boss on social media. Her accounts are private, but he stalks her with my account. He also follows the company IG and likes every photo that she's in. He asks about her all the time. She's a very private person, but when her divorce from her ex-husband was finalized in the beginning of this year, we all found out because he started showing up at work. He owned half of her company now, and he started to try to make changes in our work hours and salaries. We found out that her husband had cheated on her with a younger girl who he also tried to employ in our company. She still works here with us. She eventually convinced her husband to sell her back his share. We are still in the process now, and it probably involves lawyers. My husband has followed all of this, and he was so sad for her. and so angry. How could anyone do this when they had a woman like her? If it was him, he would cherish her, love her, blah, blah, blah. Who leaves a woman for a girl?
And I,
No. No. Jailed. Rubbish. Garbage. This is no. No. Huh? Emotional jail.
emotional, damn it.
I got very angry and told him that all men prefer younger women if they could choose. Okay. He laughed at me and told me only losers do that. What about Leonardo DiCaprio? He's a loser who is very talented. I'm kidding. I'm not saying that you're a loser. The last drop was Friday. We were out for a movie night and we saw my boss with a younger man. He looked like he was in his mid-20s. My husband lost it. He didn't know that she dated younger men. He wanted us to go say hello, but I refused and yelled at him to control himself because he looked pathetic. When we got home, he was frantically going through his social media until he found out the guy and he sighed in relief because that guy was her nephew and we didn't see the whole company, but they were out with their family members. My husband was so happy, like a weight lifted off his chest. I lost it on him. I started crying and yelling and told him that he was in love with her, and he was shocked. When I pushed and kicked him out of our bedroom, I locked the door. He just stood outside trying to calm me down, telling me that he loved me and I'm his girl and always will be, but you love a woman. Then he said something that ruined me even further. It's not like someone like her would even look my way. Oh my God. I have not slept since. Why is he feeling this way? Is it love? Is it infatuation? She's too old. For my husband, she's not. 38 is not too old. Don't go there. So what is it? And why would he think that he could not have saved her? I did not just defend, say that it's not too old to say that it's okay. I'm just saying. He's very handsome and still young. She should feel lucky to have a young, handsome man like her. And does he mean I'm less than her to accept him? Or is it purely her money and status? He refuses to admit anything. And what can I do now? I love this job. I love the benefits. Thanks to this job, our life has improved and we can afford more than just the necessities. I am starting to hate my boss though, and I hate myself for idolizing her in front of my husband. Edit, sorry, this is getting long, but I've spoken to my mother, sister, granny, and some friends about this and about what happened last Friday, and they all think that I'm making a big deal out of nothing. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. I feel like this is so loaded. First of all, how old is he? 29? I think when you approach like 29, 30 years old, you sort of like want your life to go together. Maybe you're right, like your boss, she's 38, she got her job, she got her life figured out, like she has everything, she looks good, she probably works out, I don't know, but she earns a ton of money, so that is security. Maybe he sees that as attractive and he wants to be a part of that, right? That is up to say the least. Oh, I want to talk about this, which is, it's not like someone like her would look my way. You know what? Let me tell you a very funny story, okay? When me and my ex parted, he said almost the same thing, like literally after we broke up. I remember because we were talking about George Clooney. Who the is going to forget George Clooney? Like, it's George Clooney. I was like, oh my God, I want to be like George Clooney when, he has so much charisma. I want to be George Clooney. And he's like, oh, he also want to be George Clooney. He said something along the lines of like, only if women looked at me the way that they looked at George Clooney. And that was almost immediately after we broke up. And obviously I was not over him still yet. And I read that we were texting and I was like, wow, I do not want this man. Like, seriously, I should not want this man, because if you are in a relationship with, I suppose that the only attention that you would want would be from that person. It doesn't matter if a stranger on the street thinks that you are beautiful. it matters a lot that my partner thinks that I am beautiful. Like, I want my partner to look at me like I'm George Clooney, and I look at my partner like he's George Clooney. Do you want to be George Clooney? Now, let's go to the comments. You need to keep your phone locked. Comments he might make would look like from you. Plus, he has already learned things about her, like it was her nephew, that it was not his business. What else does he know about her that she didn't release to the public? Allowing him access to your phone is putting your job at risk. OP replies, he never comments or likes her photos from my phone or on her private account, just the company IG account. I have now deleted all my social media. Keep up the good work, dump the husband. I'm not saying as a divorcee, obviously, but your feelings are 100% valid. Most women would feel the exact same way. I think that if this were the other way around with a guy and a girl, they would feel the same way. It doesn't matter. Like, this situation is fucked. Why is he so obsessed with her? Why is he getting jealous of her potential boyfriends? If this behavior doesn't stop and he doesn't prove to you with actions, not just words, that you are the woman that he's in love with and wants to be with, then it's time to consider whether this marriage is over. Do not have a baby with this man until you are sure of where you stand with him. Your boss sounds amazing, a real girl boss, and has nothing to do with this. She's clearly very beautiful, and Lamau 40 is not old. I know it's hard not to project, but realize she has no fault here. It's all your husband to blame here. He's being an idiot right now and needs to realize that he will lose this marriage if he doesn't get his head out of this obsession and face his eyes back to his wife. OP replies, I think that when he saw her with her nephew and thought that he was a date or boyfriend, somehow it made her more accessible. Do you understand what I mean? I totally understand what you mean, girl. Like, oh, she's dating someone young dudes. I'm a young dude. Do not hate your boss. She's done nothing wrong to warn that your husband has habitually crossed the line, and now you see his behavior for what it is. Whatever obsession he has for her trumps anything he possibly feels or felt for you. Get a divorce. Keep the job. There is only room for two people in a marriage, and he's pushing you out in favor for fantasy. OP replies, I do not hate her. I'm probably just better, trying to make it about people other than my husband because I have to face that my marriage is over. This is not the final update. What do you think? Tell me what you think before I give you the update. Now, the update. Are you ready? I just found out that my husband separated is dating my boss. I don't know what to do. Hi, I'm in so much pain and I do not know what to do. I don't want to do something stupid while hurting. I got a lot of good advice last time I was here, so I don't know. Maybe you can help me this time too. My old post is linked in my bio. I hope you read it before this one. Oh, bestie, I read it because I don't want to tell the whole story again. I went against... Wait, hold on. Why was your family not supportive of whatever that was happening to you? I went against my family and friends and asked my husband for a separation. I felt like my heart couldn't take it anymore. My intuition told me that my husband was not all mine. This was shortly after the event at the movies. My husband was in total confusion. He said that I was making a mistake, making a mountain out of a molehill, but he moved in with his brother, however. We decided to start couple counseling too. It went well for the first 3 weeks or so, but my husband became more and more reluctant to participate, and sometimes he just canceled on me last minute. He stopped showing up this month, and he also stopped calling me and texting me. I was even more heartbroken, but it just solidified that my intuition was right and that I was doing the right thing. Seeing that he is not interested in working on us anymore. I chose not to quit my job. I still loved it with all the heartbreak and I really needed the benefits. Like, I'm the only one I know who is having a 3 weeks paid vacation around Christmas and New Year. I never see my boss anyway, and she doesn't even know of my existence. Oh my god. Okay, my husband eventually stopped being active on Instagram, and I thought it was normal because we were going through adversities, Yesterday, when his brother shared my husband's story of the night, my husband was in a restaurant holding a woman's hand. I could only see her hand, so my husband has just blocked me and my family and friends from seeing his updates. I commented, "What the F?" And this morning, my husband called me for the first time in a month, totally scared, and started begging, "Please do not ruin this for me. Please do not ruin this for me." I told him, "What do you mean?" He said, "Don't tell her about us." I never made the connection at first. It never ever crossed my mind. Even that woman in the picture was my boss. I started crying and screaming at him. How could he do this to me? How could he tell me that it was all in my head when obviously it's all over your Instagram? He said it just happened. I dumped him and he was single and just happened to find her on Bumble. He begged me not to ruin this for him. She knows that he's in the process of a divorce, but she doesn't know that he already knew who she was or that she was the boss of his ex-wife. They have been seeing each other for 6 weeks, about 2 weeks after I asked him to move, and it's getting serious. He begged for a good 5 minutes, telling me how he hasn't been this happy in all his life, that I should not ruin his happiness since again. I was the one who ended our marriage. I've been crying since morning. I don't know what to do. I want to ruin him and his happiness, but I don't know if I have any right to do that. And I'm so worried about losing my job. Please help. Edit. Okay, before we go to the edit, what do you think so far? I think that this is so fucking crazy. I still don't blame the boss. I mean, from how you talk about her, I feel like she would be on your side and she would be understanding about the whole situation. But then again, so your husband is such a shit stir. Edit for new information. Okay, my husband's been calling me nonstop and I have now answered him. He's panicking about me telling her everything, so he begged me to give him the chance to tell her himself. His words were, "I never stalked her or creeped on her. I just fell for her and was scared that she would think I was creepy since you thought the same. Give me a chance to tell her the truth in my pace, so at least she doesn't think I'm a liar or a freak like you seem to think." He still swears that they matched on Bumble. I didn't know what that is until now, but it's like Tinder. Yes, girl, it's like Tinder. And also, it's creepy. Even from a third person point of view, it's creepy. I'm just devastated right now. He has no regard for me or my feelings. Everything he's thinking of is not to scare her away. When I told him this, he said that I was the one who left him. What? Excuse me? Like, who wouldn't leave you after you said, like, "Oh my god, I would treat that lady so well. I would love her and cherish her. Who would leave her for a girl?" And you're saying that in front of your wife. First of all, you should not even be thinking about that. Oh my god. People fall out of love. That is true. And that is okay. Yeah. And it's no one's fault. And that I was in the right for ending the relationship. But you guys didn't fall out of love. You were being creepy. You were stalking her boss. But I was the one who ended it all the same. He's trying to manipulate his words. Okay. And in his own pace, that's going to be like maybe like 5 minutes before my grave. Quote, "Do not hurt us, and I promise to give you everything you want." She's happy with me, so do not hurt us. There's another update. Hi. Please see my previous posts because this is just the update. I talked to my boss yesterday on Monday after lunch. I told her everything. Basically, how I was so happy I found this job, how I looked up to her and was proud to be working for someone like her that this rubbed off on my husband, who grew more obsessed with her each day. I apologize for using obsessed because I didn't know how things were between them, but that is how I perceived his feelings. I told her about the day at the movies, how it basically made me realize our issues were greater than I thought. I told her that I know and accept that my marriage is over, that my husband didn't love me anymore, and that the reason I'm telling her now is not to judge her or blame her, but to let her know the whole story, because it's just fair that she knows that he has been following her life for over a year now. Quote, she told the boss, because from what I understood from my husband, you are under the impression that you just matched with him on a dating app. She was silent the whole time that I was talking, just listening until I mentioned the dating app, and that is when she interrupted me. Quote, she said, the boss said, that's not how we met. He has been a Patreon at my gym for the past 6 months, maybe a year. I know her gym. It's the one across our workplace. She works out there every morning before coming to work. He has been, without telling me, working out just across the street from me every morning without telling me. She looked like how I felt, shocked. I apologized and told her that he has kept dating her a secret from me, and that he begged me not to talk to her, telling me that he has not been this happy, and so on. She didn't say much, and she just thanked me for telling her. Today, she asked if she could talk to me. Tell me everything. She apologized for everything that happened to me and asked if I needed any help. I said no. She thanked me again. When I got home, my husband was there. He had to call me at least 50 times, but my phone was on silent. He was crying, calling me bitter, vindictive, and pathetic. He said that I ruined his relationship and future. She is scared of him now, and it is all my fault. He wants me to tell her that he is not dangerous or he's a pervert. He wants me to tell her that I was the one who wanted a divorce, and that people fall out of love and in love, and it's nobody's fault. Neither is it creepy. He has done nothing wrong. He needs to go to therapy. He stayed faithful to me. Oh my God, according to whose books? And he would have stayed that way if I did not kick him out. He asked me if I ever felt unsafe with him, to make rumors about him being a stalker and a creep. I should tell the truth. I asked him to leave and that I'm starting the divorce, and from now on, he could only contact me once I got a lawyer through them. I have been crying since he left. We have not seen each other for weeks, and he had no feelings whatsoever for me. He looked demented and full of sorrow like a broken little boy. How could he change this so fast? Before we separated, he helped me and begged me to believe him and his love for me. Was it all a lie? My entire relationship? Good night, and thank you for the support. This is a throwaway and I will be deleting it soon. I just thought I would update before doing that. Oh my God, girl. I'm so glad that you and your boss are not involved with him. I know that you're sad, and I'm sorry for that. That you guys probably had something that is real, and to know that it's all down the drain is very sad, but you deserve someone better than this. You and your boss both. You don't want this relationship. Like, he kept lying to you, and he will keep lying to you, and he will gaslight you. Like, what the hell is with that? People fall in and out of love easily. Yeah, no shit. And you are being creepy, okay? Let's go to the comments. The boss must think that she's cursed for love right now. First, her husband cheats on her with an employee. Now, one of her employees' husbands stalked her. Jesus. More deep replies, wait, what was his plan at the movies? He's already been stalking her and is known to her at that point from the gym. So if they met, he was going to reveal to her that he got a wife in her company, and reveal to the wife that he already knew the boss from the gym. Someone replies saying, nah, he didn't think. His brain just stopped working when his boss has been seen with another man. Another reply, well, the other man made him feel a lot of emotions, jealousy, and hope. Remember that he told OOP that he was surprised that she would date someone that young. Yeah, what about that? Like, why did you look down on that but want the same thing? I think he's a gold digger. Don't ruin this for me, said the stalker. See, I'm not alone on this. When the boss says, that is not how we meant, I low-key got chills. Absolutely insanity. Oh my god, this could literally be turned into like a thriller, crime, mystery novel. Oh, this man definitely has issues. I got chills reading through this even before it was revealed that he matched with her on Bumble. And then the twist at the end, that's what I'm saying. It could be a book. Yikes. I'm really glad that OOP's getting away from this man. That projection and obsession is so unhealthy and scary. I just hope that her family takes her concern seriously now. He keeps using this word, faithful. I do not think that word means what you think it means. This has true crime podcast written all over it. I agree. You know what's worse than cheating? The partner caring more about the other person being hurt than feeling guilty or sorry about being found out. Damn, I feel bad for OP. Yeah. If I were the boss, I would be scared too to find out that I was dating my stalker. Both OP and her boss should be prepared for the ex-husband to retaliate. His behavior will escalate. I would not be surprised if he attacks OP for exposing him and attacks her boss for rejecting him. Girl, you know what? I'm glad that you are out of the situation again, but you need to change everything like your logs. You need to install cameras. You need to make sure that you are safe. Maybe stay with someone for a period of time. Please be careful. Please focus on yourself. I hope that it doesn't take you too much or too long to heal, but even if it does, it's okay, girl. You know, take your time. It's not your fault. And I wish you all the best, and I wish that you find someone who's good for you, girl. With that said, we have done our second Reddit videos. Oh my god. Okay, currently I'm working on like a story retelling. If you want to check out, if you like long videos, if you love long story time, if you like to listen to videos or you go about your day or do your chores, you can check out this channel. This is literally all I do, okay? And I love reading Reddit stories, and this is why this is here. If you have enjoyed this, let me know what you think of all the stories and tell my cat Drax. Hi Drax. Draxie, come on. Come on. Hi. Drax. Ooh, so cute. He's so soft. Okay. Thank you for letting me hug you. And remember to subscribe, like this video, hype this video if you can, and check out my other videos if you want to for a long story time. And I will catch you in the next one.